Okay, so it is truffle mac and cheese day. So getting right into it right here, right now. We've got some butter melting in our pot here. And then I'm going to add some finely diced onions, about half an onion or 3/4 of a cup. And I'm just going to cook this till the onion is nice and translucent. So this particular dish, I have some beautiful water buffalo strip loin steaks in the sous vide tank right now. So it's just going to go amazingly well with this truffle mac and cheese. Goes great with the roasted ribeye, any kind of meat anyway. I mean, you can't go wrong with truffled mac and cheese. The secret to this is a good truffle cheese. I'm using a truffled Gouda cheese that I get from a local farm. If you're out in the Fraser Valley area, it's Smiths and Cow. I've done this as well with truffle cheddar. So you can play around with some different kinds of truffle cheese. And then I've also cut the truffle cheese with a little bit of aged cheddar in here as well. You know, truffle's a nice flavor. You don't want too much. It can be overpowering. So this way we get the best of both worlds. Now our onions are starting to come to a nice translucency here. Maybe just another minute or so to go. Also of note, I have already pre-cooked 3 cups of macaroni noodles. So they're ready to go in this. And I have a bacon pan to pour this in that I've already got buttered and ready to go. So now my onions are right where I want them to be. I'm going to add some flour. And what I'm doing here is I am making a roux. So this is kind of our thickening agent here. So the trick here is I want to make sure it's all nicely incorporated. Get this a good stir here. And then I just want to cook it, you know, like 2 to 3 minutes. I'm not trying to brown it or anything. I just want to start cooking out the starchiness of the flour in here. So we'll let that go. While that's going, I'm just going to do a quick tidy here with keep everything nice and clean. Just like so. Now I have measured out here 500 milliliters of milk and 250 milliliters of whipping cream. You can go straight milk on this if you want. You don't always have to do the cream in there. I just think it adds just something else to it, another little bit of richness. So now I want to add this liquid to my roux. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to a whisk here. I'm going to add a little bit of the liquid. And then I'm going to stir, start breaking down that roux. I want to make sure I'm always getting into the corners of my pan. Now I've seen recipes, I'm going to add a little bit more, where you add all the liquid, bring it to a simmer. I've always been of the practice of adding a little bit at a time, incorporating the liquid into the roux, bringing it back up to just below a simmer, and then add in a little bit more. And I always find I get a smoother finish to the product. I don't get any lump in. I also find it changes the consistency, and I get a nicer, thicker consistency this way. And we'll add a little bit more here. And the reason I say that, we did a cooking class. We did a hands-on cooking class once with, we did like a seafood chowder. And I had 4 different people in the class. And they all kind of added their liquid at different times throughout the process of making the soup. And everybody's soup kind of ended up with a little bit different thickness in the end product. So this is why I'm doing it this way. Little story there for you. Again, constantly whisking and then getting into the corners. Always getting in there. Because if you get any burning, it's usually going to happen on the outsides there. And then always add a little bit more liquid the next time. There we go, getting in there. Now, this is a very simple onions, cheese. I have done this where you want something really decadent. At the end, I threw in a pound of lobster meat before I put it into the oven. It was a popular dish, expensive. So for a special occasion, you know, some nice cut of beef, a little lobster truffle mac and cheese could be a really nice thing. You could also throw some green onions in here. You could have started it off with a little bit of bacon. Again, kind of making this your own as you go. I'm going to serve this, like I said, I have water buffalo in the sous vide tank, and then I'm going to be doing a mushroom and garlic escape saute. So there's a lot of flavors going on, so I don't want to add too much in here. It's going to wreck everything else. So that's all of our liquid added. Now I'm going to add my spices. So I have some salt, some black pepper, and a little bit of nutmeg. You can see I'm constantly stirring so I don't get any scorching on the bottom. At this point, I'm going to add all my cheese. Just like so. I'm going to mix that in there, melt that cheese nicely. And I wish you could smell this now. You could just smell that truffle coming off there. Like, there we go. Then I'm going to add my cooked off macaroni noodles, well drained. Stir this around. At this point, I'm just going to knock off the heat. This one, look at that. Look at that cheesiness. That's beautiful. Okay, and then we're going to pour this into our container now. Okay, so our bacon dish, I have it buttered, ready to go. Now I'm just going to add, oh, look at that cheese in there. So this is good for a group. You could half this recipe if you wanted. It also freezes remarkably well. We used to sell this in our prepared foods line. And we would just make it the same way we're making it here, but we'd put it into those little foil containers. You can put the lids on and then portion it out to whatever size you want, label it, freeze it, and you can bake it right from frozen. So you could also use this for a little bit of meal planning, a little bit of meal prep. Last thing I want to do is add the breadcrumbs here. So I've added some melted butter to the breadcrumbs. It's just going to help them crisp up nicely. I'm going to make sure we get lots on there. Get down into the sides. Like so. I have my oven preheated at 350 degrees. We'll throw that in there now, and when it's ready, we'll take it out and show you what it looks like.